Okay, why the Ohio State shirt, you might ask? Well, two reasons. One, does anybody need more love and good vibes than JFO in Ohio State volleyball right now?
Yeah, we got to send them some love.
Yeah, so, and the other is the Marblehead Magicians play this afternoon, and their color is red, so I don't have to change shirts after we do this. And they play, this is unbelievable. So, we live here in Swampscott, Massachusetts, and the next town over is Marblehead. And then right past there, just a couple miles away, is Salem, Mass, which all of you might know of more than the other two towns because of the whole witch thing. So there's witch tours all year round. Salem's a destination, right? It's a cool little old town, but the roads were all built for like the Revolutionary War, horse and buggies. Well, October, it's a madhouse.
God, I bet.
And it's a freak show like you cannot believe.
That's fun
A
and
lot of
really
black,
weird.
a lot of black, and the witch tours go crazy and all the restaurants go nuts and everything. So
Oh,
they have
fun.
to play at Salem, which means we have to drive up to Salem, which is, one of the rules around here is you don't go to Salem in October. But and seriously, I couldn't make this up if I tried. The Salem High School nickname is the Witches. They're
That's great.
the Salem Witches. And
That's awesome.
I know. So anyway, Marblehead's doing good, up to number 12 in the rankings in the state. So maybe we don't have to
Ooh,
travel like 8 hours like we did. Or actually, it was like close to three last year for the first round state tournament.
nice.
So, anyway, hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. I need my cubbies to get a win. Come on.
There you go.
I guess by the time
We,
this comes out, we'll know. So, sending it
we are
vibes.
we are putting this together on Monday afternoon. We just got our 900 square feet top 16 media poll.
Yep.
We've both figured out the big matches ahead. Um, Couple things. Big announcement coming. I put in there Tuesday, but it's going to be Wednesday about the 900 square feet National Coach of the Year award.
Yeah.
Very big, very very exciting. If you're watching this and you don't subscribe to 900 square feet, the only all volleyball email, please sign up now. The link is in the YouTube description. And Em, how did you keep your focus, like as an analyst,
God.
with at the Nebraska Penn State match? That was tragic.
That was a that was a bad match. Bad in the sense of like those matches just aren't fun for I mean, obviously, unless you're a Nebraska fan, like
I don't
any
even. I
lopsided
think even
match.
Nebraska fans probably couldn't take too much glee in that after a point. They had to just feel like, oh, just can we have a 10-run rule?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, so you go into those matches like, okay, thinking back to last season, even when Nebraska went to Penn State for their Black Friday match, to me, honestly, I was like, okay, Nebraska's gonna come in and crush them. Penn State ends up winning in four. There's a great crowd. It was really fun, and Penn State won a share of the title. Then you're going into the tournament, and you're like, okay, Nebraska looks incredible right now. Goes up 2-0 on Penn State. Penn State comes back and wins in five. So you're like, you just never know what's going to happen in these kind of rivalry matches. I know Nebraska's undefeated. They're number one in the country, but like you don't just come into Rec Hall and play around with the Penn State team and get out. Like that never happens. And that happened. Yeah, I mean, during the first set, I a lot of times during the first set to like take a peek behind the curtain, there's so much happening of like graphics we want to get in and like things like that that yes, I'm calling game action, but a lot of like the first 10, 15 points is like getting out what we want to talk about and like setting the scene for the match. And like I looked down at one point late because I was like obviously Nebraska's rolling whatever. And I'm like it's 20 to like 4 right now. Like
Yeah.
this is, or I think it was 20 to 6, and then, whatever. Nebraska ends up winning the next 5 points. I was like, this is like actually embarrassing, and this could be a very short night. And we're on Fox, so this is like a really big network. There's not many matches on Fox
It
throughout
wasn't
the year.
FS1. It wasn't like,
No, this was like big Fox. And
yeah.
so also again to peel back the curtain, we have a 2-hour TV window, which doesn't happen that often to where you have to fill that time. Normally, even if a match goes 3 sets, it's like maybe an hour 45. And you might have to fill like 10 minutes because with commercials and all that, which is just like interviews, recapping the game, and like whatever, you're out. That game ends, Lee. We had 40 minutes of fill time. I traveled to matches earlier this season specifically to do a 20-minute studio show that I'm prepping for days for. So like, and luckily we had a contingency plan. We had an awesome producer and director and like had a bunch of stuff, basically a post-game show. But no, that was really brutal. That was the Penn State had 16 kills. That was the third lowest that Nebraska has ever had in the
And
history of
only
Nebraska
three
volleyball.
people had kills. Kennedy Martin had 11, and somebody else had three, and somebody else had two.
And like even talking to Danny after the match, one of the questions I asked her, I was like, "How can you explain how difficult it is to come into a place like this and win in three?" And she was like, she was like, it is so hard." And yes, Penn State played bad, whatever. They have stuff to figure out, but Nebraska played really, really well to string together three. I don't want to say like nearly perfect, but like really good sets against a tough team and a tough environment. Because when Penn State scored, like it wasn't often, but the crowd was loud.
Yeah. Well, it was Saturday. It was just a lovely, lovely day here in Massachusetts. And I drove up to North Andover, Mass, to see Canisius and the Golden Griffins and my good friend Tom Hanna, who's the coach, play at Merrimack College. Now, these are two teams in the 300s in the RPI, but ultimately, Canisius went up 2-0, and then that coincided with halftime of the football game. Now, football game, number one, who knew Merrimack had football? Number two,
Keep
who
going
knew
with
it
it.
was homecoming? Number three, who knew that you couldn't park on campus because of that? They sell the limited number of seats they have. And it wasn't like going to an SEC game tailgating, all right? It was we had to park in Lawrence, Massachusetts, 4 miles away, and take a shuttle bus, big school buses. Now they were beautiful school buses. We didn't ride school buses like that when I was a kid. They're really nice. But oh my gosh. So anyway, Merrimack comes back and pulls off
Where is he going with this?
reverse sweep. And I thought, when was the last time I was actually at a reverse sweep? I was like, duh, the national semifinals when
Yeah.
me and one Emily Ehman texted after two sets, and I was like, this one's not over. Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's really, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that's where I was going with that. And plus, I wanted to tell people that I'd seen Canisius at Merrimack,
yeah,
and
that was fun.
it was great.
I mean, it was just a beating and it didn't stop. And honestly, and I know people, for example, I think it was Nebraska had scored 20 in the third set, and Danny called a challenge on that footfall. And people were like really pissed about that because they're like, where's the sportsmanship? Like, shut up. Like, they want to win. They're going to fight for every point. Like, I know that they're up. Like, there's no run rule. There's no just pitying a team and getting out. Like, I love that she challenged that point. I didn't love that people were mad about that. Like, who cares?
Oh,
Danny lost to them twice last year. Nebraska lost to them twice last year. Like, you fight for every point. Get out of here.
absolutely. And plus, it was kind of obvious.
Yeah, it ended up being like the call stood, but like I don't know. I thought she foot it. It was also just like a weird serve. I didn't love that. I was confused. I
Oh,
think
that
I like audibly gasped on air because of the bounce and then yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. I think most people turn it off by then anyway.
So as we were preparing to do this, Stacy was racing to get our poll done, and she has sent us today's poll. You have it too, right?
Yep, got
Yeah.
it.
So I didn't expect much of a change at the top, but and I'm still voting Texas won. You're still voting Nebraska won.
Why do you have Texas one? I feel like we
Yeah,
talked about this,
and
but
then we go Nebraska, Texas, Pitt, Kentucky, Louisville. The Louisville Stanford match was a really fun match, and there's a fine
really
line there.
fun.
Yeah, fine line there. Even though it was a 4-set win, but to win on the road and make the big plays, Kara Kress,
Crazy.
she made plays, just so many,
She's
just off balance, cool spikes, cool blocks, touches off people. She really had a
yeah.
nice match there. You know,
I think Louisville too, for only having like two ranked wins this year and not having, the toughest schedule. They've beaten Creighton and Stanford, lost to Texas and Kentucky, both of those in five. I mean, I think there's something to be said for Dan Meskey too. Like, yeah, he had some returning players, but he brought in some and replaced some and kept them after Danny left. And I don't think anyone expected Louisville to be this good this season. So it's really fun to watch them do really well. And that's a tough place to win at Stanford.
they're just ballers. I mean,
Yeah.
and Chloe Chicoine, at 5'8", is just doing a heck of a job. She looks like a better player even than she was.
Yeah. Peyton
At least
Peterson
she did
crushing
yesterday.
it.
Yeah.
But
Um,
yeah, and Kara Cressy, obviously, I mean, she's one of the best middles in the country. She's tall, she's aggressive, good on both sides of the ball. Yeah, that was a fun match. And to have that match be on ESPN, it's always just exciting when the big
yeah.
matches are actually living up to it, unlike what I got.
And late in the day too, a 5 p.m.
Yeah.
start. I'll be curious to see what the numbers are because that went right up against the NFL on ESPN.
I was
People
gonna
talk
say
about
I actually
that.
loved it. Well, one, the Bears had a bye, so I didn't care. And honestly, I would have watched volleyball anyway. But it was really nice to like have my Sunday and then have a big match. And I know it's annoying when you're on the other side of it calling the game. Like I have a 7:30 Sunday night start in a few weeks. But like as a fan, I was like, well, this is kind of nice having my dinner and hanging out.
Yeah. Um, so Wisconsin still comes in at 6. Charlie Ferbringer, either a shoulder injury, could be a separation, could be a dislocation, but whatever. Um, Hopefully nothing's broken or torn and she'll be back. But
Yeah, Sheffield said this morning, he was like, we're hoping to know. So this is Monday. He said, we're hoping to know more by tonight. And he said, I don't know if it's going to be weeks or months, which I didn't like that sentence.
oh,
And again, don't know. Yeah, there's no official update, but that was just Kelly talking to media. So we'll see. I mean, I have them against Penn State this weekend, and I don't love the idea of two backup setters, but I know I hope she gets well soon.
for sure. And the rest of that team stepped up in a big way. They played really good because Michigan's good. Michigan's really having a nice
Yeah.
season.
And
Um,
Wisconsin still doesn't have Grace Egan back. So,
yeah, they didn't get any votes. Continuing on, we got Stanford, Arizona State, Texas A&M, Purdue. Good, good road trips for Purdue and Indiana.
oh, we'll get there.
Yes, for sure. And then SMU, TCU, Creighton 13. And here's where it changes. Miami comes in at 14th. I had them, I think, substantially higher than that. And
Really?
but I did last week too. I've watched them. Then Indiana at 15. I have to be honest. I have not seen Indiana except for a couple of snippets. So you can
Hmm.
talk about them in a second. And then Tennessee got the 16th spot. I think they tied with Kansas, but Tennessee doesn't pass the eyeball test for me. The few times I've seen them. So
Yeah.
you know, but Baylor dropped out, which I was really surprised about. Baylor looks good, and then Minnesota dropped out. I understand BYU dropping out. Colorado got votes, and I guess from me because I had them at 16. Colorado's
Sure.
really, really a nice team. But
Yeah.
so, how about your Hoosiers
Uh,
and your Boilermakers? You get them both. You take credit for both of them.
well, I can't take credit for both of them. I was born in Bloomington. But I love the Purdue program. I
And
love
by the
the
way, speaking of Purdue, so last week, at 900 square feet, I led the league in like typos and dumb things and typing and just putting things wrong. And I read, I read one thing and I wrote in Indiana, which isn't even getting votes in the top 25. Of course, they were getting votes to be 27th, and I just missed it. And Dave Shondell sent me a note and said, I
I love
know that Indiana's getting votes because I voted for him in the ABC poll. So, I was like, yeah, whatever. And he was just one of a few. So thank you to everyone. But,
I will say too, Dave is one of those coaches. Most
and
teams have
it was
like their
good natured.
SADs or whatever.
Yeah.
Dave is so dialed in, which I love because every time you talk about it, like he wants to talk about the national scene and he's got thoughts and I love talking to coaches like that actually pay attention because there's not many that actually do.
Right. Right. But back to
Um,
Indiana.
Back to Indiana. You know what? We talked about it last week on our video, and this was after Indiana got some wins. They're going into the week facing USC, UCLA, and I remember saying that I think Indiana can come out of that getting one win. And I remember in my head, I was like, I should say like they could get two wins, but I was like, I don't feel that confident in them. Um, I got some messages about it too. They're like, oh, you're such a homer, whatever. And I was like, I'm only a homer about Indiana when they're actually have the chance of doing well. And that actually has been the last few seasons. They've just been plagued with injuries. And this year, they finally have things locked together, which is pretty insane. Getting four set wins over USC, UCLA on the road on the West Coast, both of those games also starting at 10 p.m. Eastern. That's an insane thing to do on back, with a day in between. I think they look incredible. Those were the first back-to-back ranked Big Ten wins in program history. I think Avery Tatum is doing a phenomenal job. Candy Alonso Corsellis is doing a phenomenal job. There was a point, I think it was a UCLA match where, and I went back and watched this because I got a DM about it, but there's a point where Avery Tatum, who one of those players that she's their opposite. If you haven't watched her, she's super fun, but like as locked in as it gets. And you could tell like she kind of just like took a few plays off and they call a timeout. Aaron pulls her to the side, clearly like gets in on her. And then from then on, she just went off. And I was like, that's a perfect example of Steve Aird knows how to coach these players. She had 31 kills at over 350 in both matches. Like, I don't know. I'm excited about this group because I think for the last few years, Indiana's just like had injuries like mid or late in the season that have like hindered them from making the tournament. And it's been, I mean, as someone who grew up in Indiana in Bloomington and grew up watching this program, that hasn't been to the tournament, I think, since 2012. I don't know. It's just fun to watch, and I'm pumped for them, and deservedly so. It's not like I'm hyping them up because they're average. Like they're doing really well.
Yeah, yeah. Um, the couple of items from last week that jump out at me is the kid from James Madison, Kennedy Louiselle, and now has 25 more kills than anybody else. She had just a whole bunch her last couple of times out, and I'm waiting to see here, there, here we go, game by 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 game. By game. 37 kills against Georgia State on uh, what day? 2 days ago, and that followed 21. She had 21 and 37 against Georgia State, and then we talked about Nebraska at Penn State. You saw that score. So LSU has Florida in Baton Rouge, and they force a fifth, and
Hmm.
LSU goes up 9-0.
Yeah,
Journey Robinson had 33 kills in the previous match. I think it was to Tennessee, and then comes up with 34. She has 6 kills with no errors and 9 swings in the fifth set with 4 blocks and a dig. That's a fifth set. And
insane.
she has put herself possibly into National Player of the Year picture. She won't get it because LSU's not going to get far enough along probably.
Yeah,
But I mean she's legit.
yeah.
Yeah, if she
Yeah, and
were
there were some fun upsets this weekend, I think, kind of across the board. And it seems like I know we talk about upsets every year, but when you look just conference by conference, like there's been a lot of really fun ones. Even last week, Michigan over Minnesota, West Virginia beat BYU. Again, you mentioned LSU, Florida, Oklahoma beat Mizzou, which was kind of like a minor upset, but still fun.
we got scheduling ACC, not a lot of big
Yeah.
matchups. However, Stanford does come to Boston College, which I'll get to see Stanford on Friday, and looking forward to that. Pitt Miami though, that's a big match now. I
Is
mean,
it?
well, if Miami wins and it's in Miami, which has like a 22-foot high ceiling, you
I
know,
mean, I'm looking forward SMU Miami on Sundays. Probably the only bigger ACC game. UNC Georgia Tech play Sunday too, which theoretically could be a bubble game, although both would be completely safe right now.
yeah,
Um, yeah, not a ton of big matches in the ACC this week.
no, I probably won't go Sunday to watch Cal at Boston College.
That's fair.
No, no. So then in the Big 12, coming up, I'm scanning this real quick. Iowa State at Kansas State. We're not talking about ranked teams, although I think Iowa State might be able to get into the AVCA mix for top 25. That's a big RPI consideration match for both of those teams. Baylor, Arizona State,
Yep.
big match. Baylor's still going to be ranked in the AVCA. And then I'm still scrolling down here. Colorado at Arizona State, Iowa State at Kansas on Friday.
Yeah,
Um,
Colorado's been sneaky good. I mean, Arizona State looks good, but you never know. That one's on Friday, I think.
yeah, if you haven't seen Colorado play, I recommend it. Nice team. And
Yeah.
then in the big, which now I have to scroll all the way up, it reset itself all the way back to August. Luckily,
Wednesday, UCLA and Minnesota play. Two teams that need to get back on track. Minnesota potentially lost their fourth starter in Alex Acevedo.
oh no.
Did you see that? Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yep. Went down with
Hagan, what have you done in a previous life to deserve
a
this?
leg injury. I don't know. And TBD, but she's their backup outside that is now playing in for McKenna Wooker, who announced that she had a season-ending injury along with their libero and starting middle. So that would now make four starters for Minnesota.
You've got Wisconsin at Penn State on the Big Ten Network on Saturday
And
night.
it's a Friday night. It's a whiteout game.
Oh, 10-10. There you go.
Could be battle backup set. Honestly, I mean, we get Kennedy Martin and Mimi Collier going up against each other, who are like the top two kills per set leaders in our
How about
conference. So
this?
that's fun.
USC at UCLA on Saturday
Saturday.
afternoon on NBC.
Yeah.
Wow. Good. I'm glad NBC's stepping up. And that's a big, that turns out to be a big match for both those
Wait,
teams in terms
that's
of,
an NBC show?
it says here on the Big Ten schedule.
Nice.
Yeah. Um, and then, yeah, is the 12th
Yep.
Saturday, Sunday?
Sunday, Nebraska at Purdue.
Yep, that's a big one. That's a big one.
And
And
I mean,
Indiana at Michigan State. Michigan State's good and playing super well.
yeah, they look good. I going back to Nebraska, Purdue. I mean, we've seen Purdue take down many top 10 teams in Holloway before. It's a I don't say it's like a trap game, but you're playing early on a Sunday. It's going to be loud in there, and Nebraska better be ready to go.
Yep. Wednesday, Kentucky at Texas A&M.
That's a
That's
good one.
big. That's big. And as Daniel Gilman called it, the Battle of the UTs, Tennessee at Texas. And that's two showcase matches for them. Oh, and you've also got two ranked teams currently, Missouri versus Florida, although both of those teams might fall out of the AVCA top 25 when it comes out today.
Yeah,
Uh,
they actually it will be out by that, and Florida is out of the ranking for the first time since 1991.
oh, you see it? You have it
Yeah,
already?
yeah, I got it.
Oh, okay. I hadn't checked my email when we started this.
Since
Uh,
1991.
wow.
I wasn't
Sunday,
even a thought.
no. Sunday, Kentucky at LSU on the surface. Not a showcase match, but LSU's playing really well, and they got Journey Robinson.
Yep.
So, did I miss any of the ones you sent me? No. Oh, Carolina, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's really, really grinding. They're still good though.
Georgia Tech's a team that I'm not surprised when they beat anyone, but I'm not surprised when they lose to anyone.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know?
Yeah. Um,
That's how I feel about like
your Cubbies
Kansas.
are playing the Brewers. You're excited. You got a chance for Chicago tickets when they come to Chicago again?
Oh, I'm going Wednesday.
Oh, good. You went last week, right?
Yeah, we lost. So I'm gonna have to wear something else now, and we have to configure our seating different. So I'm going with my mom, stepdad, and my boyfriend. So maybe he'll be good luck. I don't know.
I hope he's good luck for you, whether the Cubs win or not. She's Emily Ehman from multiple entities and one of the few people who gets my jokes, which is why I love her. Thank you for watching. And if you are not subscribed to the 900 square feet, only all volleyball email, there you go. I'll leave you with this. I met Harry Caray.
What?
Yeah, in the 1980 World Series in Kansas City, and he was there. And
God.
I met him in the men's room. I looked over at the next urinal and I said, "Oh, you're Harry Caray. Hey, how about that?" Bye, Em.